Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Brett from Mud Run Guide, and I'm here with a good friend and amazing guy, a big part of the industry here, Ryan Kunkel, the co-founder of Warrior Dash. Now, Ryan, great to see you.
Yeah, great to chat with you, Brett.
Now, you're out in Chicago. I know it's been a while since I visited, but how's everything at Red Frog offices?
It's doing well. This is always a crazy time of year, and we're out there having fun.
Yeah, you guys have an amazing office, amazing vibe. I always dig coming out there because you're always doing something. Whether it's the camping area in there or, geez, the slide. Did you guys move the slide down from what is it, the seventh floor or whatever?
Yeah, we haven't been using the slide as much, but the camper's been heavily used these days.
Yeah, that's a good old tree house up there. But the Red Frog office is really something else. But yeah, I'm coming to where am I? I'm in Toronto, Canada, home of the OCR World Championships, and you and I are going to do some chatting about mud runs and OCRs. So wow, first off, 8 years, brother, 8 years. Can you believe it?
It's crazy. In some ways, it feels like a flash, and other feels like a
It's just something else. Just think back. We've had this conversation before, so we're going to have it on camera now. Tell me about the first event. What was it like? Did you have any clue?
no idea, no idea. And I mean, every little aspect of just the learning curve was massive. No idea what the hell we were doing, and thankfully, our events today don't look much like that event 8 years ago. But it was a great time and clear as day.
Well, so Joliet, Illinois, on July 18th, back in 2009. So you and your co-founder Joe, um,
Yeah.
you had to try to figure this stuff out. So what got you into it, and how did it come about? Just give me a brief bit of the origin story of Warrior Dash.
Yeah. So, when we were looking at what was going on in the running world, all the races were taking place in city centers on pavement, and they just weren't as captivating as they could be, as they should be. And so we wanted to just kind of look at it with a disruptive perspective and figure out how to make the most incredible running events to exist at the time. And today, every event from OCR to color runs and foam runs and everything else have popped up. But the whole idea of taking it off of city streets onto private property, making it just as much about the overall experience, the party, the festivity, the camaraderie. It was completely new at the time. We had no idea that we were pioneering an entirely new industry at the time, and it kind of set off a gunshot for a wild ride that we've been on ever since.
So I believe you were telling me about what 4 a.m. that morning. Oh well, but even before that, what were your projections on who was going to show up and how many crazy individuals were going to show up for this, and what actually happened?
So finding venues is still a big challenge in this industry, but at the time it was no systems. It was completely fresh. So we found a paintball park, and part of the agreement was that we had to be completely off the course by the time the paintball park opened for the day. So needless to say, the whole wave concept, which we developed a year later, because we learned very quickly that 2,000 people can't compete at the same time.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, little things like that seem so obvious today. Everything has to be created at some point.
Yeah.
And so, we had to be completely off the active parts of the property. I think it was by 9 or 10 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
jeez. So
So,
you put 2,000 people through the course and had them finish by 10 o'clock.
yes, and then
Oh.
I think our festival went till 11 or 12, and that was it. The first one was in the books, and it was uh, completely wild. Our waves technically went off every 60 seconds, is how we divided up the starting corral. I was leading the lead runner on the back of a gator,
Oh,
and
jeez.
after hitting a few curbs and losing a few cameras and walkies, quickly learned that that wasn't the best way to do things either.
Well, I mean, but that's where all the joy comes into this. When you like anything else, you've got to break it to figure out how to fix it or figure out what's going to work. So you guys, you broke it pretty well. So if you think about it for a second, you expected, I think you said before you expected about 500, but yet 2,000 showed up. So that had to be pretty nuts in and of itself.
Yeah,
Um,
we sold out with 2,000 almost immediately.
oh,
The,
jeez.
the, between just the immediate demand and media attention just exploded, and there we were.
So how do you? Okay, so 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock that day, you and Joe look at each other and you say, "Holy shit! What did we just do? And how do we do this again?" So how did you go from that rate, that paintball park in Joliet, Illinois? Back it's 2009 to that's the amazing part is people don't maybe realize that you're going into you're in your ninth year of Warrior Dash. But so back from that event, you've got to now we want to do this all the time. Where do you go from here?
That light bulb went off before that first event actually occurred. The registration trends dictated that we were onto something, and so we had actually spent the weeks leading up to that first event, on site visits around the country, and it was
Oh,
really, how fast and how far can we plant our flag, and needless to say, booked quite a few miles that year and the years following.
well, and so since then, so you grew from that one event, and then next year, I'm going by memory here, but next year it was over a dozen, wasn't it? In 2010.
We were able to get 10 off the ground that following year. And that was, we were willing to launch as many as we could, but just the venue searching process,
Oh, sure.
you don't have the team or the systems that we have today to be able to scale up. So that was as fast as we could go.
So you went from from that 10 at your peak. You were putting on. I should have notes, but I'm up here planning the course for World Championships. At the peak, you guys are somewhere up 38, 42 a year, I
Yeah,
think.
we were upper 40s,
Wow.
and it was, and has been unbelievable.
Well, and here's the important part that a lot of people, hopefully maybe you folks watching right now, kind of miss out on a little bit. Is there's definitely an interplay with you and the rest of the industry, but also with these venues and the crowds, and kind of paring back where is necessary. You can't put on a race with with the numbers just not being there. So you guys have actually, and we've had this conversation. You guys have always been smart about how you ramp up. I think this year is a really good example of, and this is me giving you a compliment, I guess, but a really good example of you went out and you said, okay, these are my best markets. These are the markets that we know do really well. We have a rabid following, and it's big markets. You have how many this year?
Uh,
Um,
25.
and so you started off the season with like 22 or 23 that were announced, right? And as
Yep.
the season picked up, you actually added some more venues the last month.
Yeah, we're seeing the industry is incredibly strong right now, and we're seeing that with our registration trends.
Hmm.
So, based off of everything we're seeing right now, we've been adding markets, and we'll be continuing to do so going into next year.
See, that's awesome. I
Yeah,
mean, there's explosive growth. There was the Wild West that you saw
yeah,
before. There was that overwhelming compound growth that you saw in 2011. We're really like 12 and 13, where you couldn't hold enough events. And as the market contracted a little bit, you guys played smart. Like say Phoenix. I love the Phoenix venue. I've been there enough times. But this last year, you said, you know what? Phoenix wasn't as strong. We did 2 days. We're paring it back to one year, And then, this year you're like, oh, last year we really saturated that market. Let's take a year away. So it sucks for us in Phoenix right now that you're not there. I miss you guys. But realistically, I think that there's going to be a stronger demand for you guys to come back again next year, because I hear it from runners in the area. They're like, oh, where's Warrior Dash? So, hopefully it'll be, new venue and you guys will come back again next year. I guess I'm asking you, just come
Yeah.
back, okay?
Yeah. Well, we miss you too, and yeah, I'm not going to commit to anything, but there's a strong.
I can't put you on the spot, but yeah, I'm just
I
asking.
I hope and believe that we may be seeing you very soon.
Awesome, awesome. Well, and that speaks volumes to the way that you guys run your business. And obviously, I'm a big fan. I enjoy sitting down with you guys as often as possible. My visits to Chicago are always many and enjoyable. But let's shift gears a little bit to the amazing good you've done. Now, you've been great for the industry. There's no question about that. You guys have done something that's far above, in a way, different and better for the world than just OCR. So tell me a little bit about what you do for St. Jude and what you have done for 9 years, 8 years.
Yeah, our relationship that we have with St. Jude has really become part of who we are as a company and as people. And we're fortunate that childhood cancer isn't something that has affected me personally, but it's something that once you walk through the doors of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital down in Memphis, you're changed forever, whether you like it or not. And seeing the impact they do there and the way that they share the research and treatments that they develop there freely around the world has made it an absolute rally cry within Red Frog, within Warrior Dash. And we're really proud that we've raised over $14 million at this point. And, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And now the first ever proton therapy center, the Red Frog Proton Therapy Center, that we were able to kind of sponsor based off of the incredible work that our warriors do and the way they're able to conquer the obstacles every day for the kids.
That's truly amazing. Let's harken back to that number again. $14 million you've raised for the St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Well, it's taken everyone, every participant we have, our whole team here in Chicago, everyone that touches everything we do has been a part of that. But it's been really cool, and obviously to say that what you're doing is literally saving lives, I don't think you can beat that.
You can't, and there's no one else out there that could say anything close. It's unbelievable. That partnership is amazing. When you walk into the offices, you can't miss the signs and everything that you have. They've got the the artwork on the walls and the huge murals, and pretty much like the running ticker where you guys have everything listed that what you're doing for them. It's truly amazing. This will be the part. Insert photo here. I'm sure I've got a photo of it from being out there. But so what's coming up for you? We've got a couple. Well, we have the National Obstacle Course Racing Day, which is coming up on Tuesday, and that's tomorrow. And depending on when I release this, it'll probably be today. So happy National OCR Day, everybody! So Tuesday, July 18th. What's significant about that day?
Yeah, it's the anniversary from when this industry exploded, and to go from the first event in Joliet in 2009 to an international sport, and to have a nationwide series, and the mainstream adoption is just incredible. So it's a way for the whole industry to rally around this incredible sport that's been created and has exploded.
Yeah. And just to think of the disruption that you were talking about at the very beginning, and how you wanted to just get off the pavement. It's amazing.
You froze on me.
Oh, did I? Hopefully it'll come back. There we go. There you go. Yeah, it's glitched a couple of times. Great hotel internet, I guess. But so we talked about the amount of money you raised. How many participants? From those. After those first 2,000 at the paintball park in Joliet, how many more people have come through your turnstiles?
Yeah, if you would have told me 8 years ago that we'd have over 3 million people complete a Warrior Dash, I would have said you're crazy. But yeah, it's been great.
That is insane. To imagine how you've grown from that to that. Well, so let's, as we talk about growing, what's on the radar? What's ahead for Warrior Dash? I know this year you guys did a great job with designing some new obstacles and having some feedback with with voting from your fans and everything. So I love where you're going, mixing stuff up. What's the future? What's coming up for Warrior Dash?
We have our 10th season right around the corner, and we're going to make it fresh. We have some nice surprises that we're working on that I'm not going to disclose today.
Just come on, nothing. Just a screen cap of something. I'll dig her. I'll root around the office. I'll find somebody that's willing to give me a screen cap of something.
Yeah, you can try to sweet talk Terry for that one.
Yeah, I think so. That's exactly where I was going to.
Yeah. But no, I mean, when you think about, I would say looking back 8 years ago on that first event, when you think about where our obstacles have come from, essentially we were just using the terrain and minor builds to having, obstacles like Goliath today. I think it's cool to see the innovation that's occurred and how fun and challenging the obstacles can be.
Well, and to talk about that really quick here at the end, how important, I know how important Warrior Dash is to, from entry level all the way up to, OCR World Championship qualifiers. Let's talk about that a little bit. What does the Warrior, come out and do Warrior Dash for? Is it do you see mostly beginners? Do you see more veteran stuff, or do you see a lot of people kind of bringing their kids, or teenagers, but bringing their friends and friends, wives, girlfriends for their first event? What do you see?
We take a lot of pride in being the accessible. The accessible version of OCR. We want to introduce people to the sport. We want people to come out and have a great time and be able to accomplish the obstacles that we provide them. With that said, we also want, to be able to, have the more veteran OCR athletes come out and have a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And when we come to your communities and to your cities, that you guys come out and have a great time and qualify for even more challenging variations. So.
That's something else. That I think one of the, and we're perpetrator. I'm a perpetrator of this as well. I always tell everyone, for a first event, Warrior Dash is perfect, but maybe that sentence gets lost in or maybe the deeper definition of that is, yeah, it's great for beginners, but it's still a challenge for everybody. As a race director, people will say, oh, I'm just going to do the 5K for even a road racer. Oh, it's just a 5K. It doesn't matter. If a 5K is easy, run it harder, run it faster, and it gets a lot harder. So the competitive waves, you've seen actually a pretty good uptick in the participation in the competitive wave early in the morning. So tell me about that. That's the first, what time of day and how does that work?
So we start the day, the first wave is always our competitive wave, and that's our qualifying wave for the OCR World Champs. And that's a great opportunity where our most elite athletes can come out and compete head to head.
I hope I didn't lose you again.
On me.
Yeah. Well, my hotel internet is not the best. But so, anyways, first wave, competitive OCR World Championship qualifier. Show up, kick some ass, have some fun, and bring the family.
Exactly.
Now, this is great because I love the fact that this is the first time I'm actually able to see eye to eye with you, because me at 5'8" and you at 7'2", this is this is the first time we get to be on the same. I'm even doing this a little bit on the camera, so I feel like I'm taller than you.
Yeah.
Ryan, awesome talking to you again, brother. I look forward to seeing you out in Chicago very soon.
Well,
Warrior Dash, July 18th. 2009 all the way up to 2017, 8 years of mayhem, mud, and horns, brother.
Great chatting with you. Talk to you soon.
Take care, man. Bye.